Still connect.
Are we good?
I think we're finally good. Finally, we are good. Good. Wonderful. Sorry to
It's great.
yeah, chase you down,
It's
but
great to catch up with you finally.
yeah, finally, yeah. After a few tags, thank you very much. Let's just get started. I mean, I've seen you, I've known you. Uh, of course, social media has been very helpful to know what you've been doing for cricket on the east side, uh, and some of it I've been doing on the west side as well. So, without any delay, let's just get started. Help us understand, your background and what have you been doing. All the stage is all yours.
Well, um, uh, in 2000, I really got involved in cricket in terms of an administrator. I've been playing in the Metropolitan League and the New York League and the Commonwealth League back in the days. And my love for cricket is with my bond with my two brothers, Raj and Kewa. So that brought us into the game. After we got married, it was the game that kept us together. And we'd meet twice a week to practice, and then 2 days on the weekend to play. So we remained close brothers.
Cricket runs in the family.
Of course, it runs in the blood.
Yep.
It's once you catch the fever, you can't quite let it go.
Absolutely.
So in any case, in 2000, in 1999, we actually ventured to England because we wanted to. With a group of friends, we decided that we were going to look at Lords and a few indoor facility and see if we can make cricket an all year round game in New York. And from our visit to Lords and to other facilities, we were able to speak to the architects, the guys who build the structure itself, the flooring guy, the lighting guy. So they guided us. And when we came back, it didn't work out with the guys that we had gone with. And we decided to do it on our own, the three brothers. So as such, we came out with the first indoor facility in North America in 2000.
Congratulations for that. Yeah, definitely. That's what you say, breaker, right? Trailblazer, if you will, to get the foundation for a few others that have sprung up in recent years.
Yeah, I mean, it was great to be the first mover in it, but it was also very difficult trying to explain to Americans why we're building an indoor facility. And then to go further, when you try to put the restaurant and pubs in England is a common thing, but you try to put one here, they think you're trying to run a strip club or something. So they can't put the two together. So trying to convince the board, in New York was quite a task. But with that said, we were able to build a beautiful facility in Queens, New York, in 2000, and from that, we didn't to see the actual facility materialize or to reach its peak. It was destroyed by fire a year later.
Oh, okay.
So after that, I mean, it was a work in progress. We didn't take as much insurance as we should have back then. So we took a loss, but we moved on. And then I moved to Jersey when my last child came along. My wife and I moved to New Jersey, and while she was working in Morristown, she found a facility, a space in Morristown, the heart of Morristown, actually, on the green. And we decided to open the facility. And from that, we made a lot of friends. A lot of good people came through there. Sort of put cricket on the map in New Jersey. It was we ran indoor leagues. In the midst of winter, people used to come in and play cricket. So we had a big follower and many good friends, guys who went on to open their own facilities, used to practice there religiously. So my wife and I we, along with our three children, my son Ryan, my daughter Rachel, and Rihanna, we basically were not only the owners, but we were the workers. We were the guys cleaning the toilet and
Family
doing
run
everything.
operation, family run
Yeah,
business.
exactly. And it was a challenge. My brother would come in from Queens every weekend because he lived in Queens, so we would wait for him along with a good friend of ours, Mushtaq Khan and Carney Lee,
Right.
and guys who helped us along to build this where it was to where it is right now. I mean, it was quite a challenge to do these things. Again, being the first movers, and facilities like Dream Cricket came along, Crickmax and such. But having an indoor facility and having kids exposed to cricket all year round drove the talent level up, and we started to see it in the boys and girls as they played more and more. Because when you play cricket in the summer, by the time you catch form, the winter sets in.
Winter starts. Yep.
And then you have to start all over again the
All
next
over
summer.
again. Yep.
So we said, you know what, let's run an indoor league in the winter. So it just kept going. And, we started seeing a lot of young men who went on to play the U.S. under 19 team come
Some names
through.
do you want to mention, Coach? Some
Sure.
names?
I mean, one of the boys that come through, Cameron Mirza, was one of the first ones who I think made a century.
Yep.
Vital Patel, Rishi Patel, my son Ryan Persaud.
Yep.
The kids who would come in from New York, Amarnath Persaud, quite a few.
I remember a kid named Arshad Junaid. He was probably prior to that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He was there as well. Jesse Singh used to play at that time for the region.
Right. There was another kid named Dhruv Mehra. He was a wicketkeeper, I believe.
Henry Wardley was there. Henry Wardley.
Wardley. Yep.
He lived right near Morristown, so he had played for our Rising Stars team as well, so our indoor team. A fantastic player. We were visited by many coaches during that time because it was the Atlantic region rather than academies having separate groups. So everything ran through the Atlantic region. So we would have Coach Daly, would have Damian Morgan. We would have visits from other coaches. Later on, we would see Milroy and Coach Ashok Patel later. They came afterwards. But Basil Butcher Jr., yeah, he was there. Lyndon Frazier. Those guys were first movers, and they really got cricket to a high level in New York.
They did.
And Jersey. So Daly and these guys who were working with kids like Raymond Ramachan from from the first they could hold a bat. So, a lot of credit goes to those guys who did the grassroots and put in the time and effort to drive cricket where it is right now. I mean, if you look at the current under-19 squad, a lot of it is the product of their hard work, all of our hard work, and setting the stage for what is happening now is great to see. But
once again, congratulations for the Mid-Atlantic region. They won the championship. Very heartening for you, as much as disappointing was for me, because I thought my boys, our boys here, had the opportunity, had a good chance. But yeah, congratulations. Give us an idea of who are the expectations that you have from these upcoming stars.
Well, there's boys who dedicate themselves. Saiteja Makamola, for instance.
I've seen a lot of numbers from this kid.
Yeah, well, he started his cricket. I think Damian Morgan was first. His father told me he was first to coach him, but he's had Coach Daly, but I think Ashok Patel put a great deal of work in him. Crick Max guys. But overall, the region, we allowed certain tours. We would take the kids internationally. I personally would take, along with a group of parents, we would take them internationally to play in Canada. And thanks to guys like Derek Pereira from Ontario Cricket Academy,
Right.
who would host us, graciously host us and put us up and show us a great time on their fantastic facilities there. He's a star. This guy has driven our level of cricket in many ways. A young kid, Richard Barrera, for instance.
That is correct. I've
He,
heard that name a lot. I've heard.
well, and I guarantee you're going to hear it a lot more. He is one fantastic young player. I've always told people that he's probably one of the best young talents in the United States. And, props to him. Recently, I visited Virginia for our under 15 and under 17 tournament in Washington. The WCL hosted it. And
Right.
as I was stepping into the ground, I see him and he comes up to me and said, "How'd you do today?" He said, "I scored 200. Just casually." I said, 200. I said, "How many overs?" I think it was 20 overs he scored 200.
Oh, wow.
212. But, he is something special. And
So I'm
again,
looking
guys
forward to seeing him play. They are here for the under-19 nationals this week. They're here. Saturday, they probably are playing a match very close to where I stay in Santa Clara. So I'm looking forward to go see him bat this weekend.
Santa Clara, I visited Santa Clara many years ago. A good friend of mine, Lalta Sampat.
Oh, yeah, Lax Sampath, we worked together in NCCA. He was the president, was the secretary, and then he's
And he had
easy now.
hosted us for, he hosted us for a Kingfisher tournament back in the days. And
so were you on the team, that team that came from the New York Cricket Society?
Yes, I was.
So Terry Hastu was here, Sarfraz
Oh,
Ali.
no, that's ACS. We brought another team, but we played against them in a Kingfisher tournament.
Okay.
And that was a fantastic tournament. We actually won that tournament while we were
I was
there.
volunteering. I was umpiring that tournament. I was a greenhorn. I was 25-year-old back then. This is way back when.
And I believe the Sunil Gavaskar was our master of ceremonies there.
Yes. Gary Sobers, Sir Gary Sobers was also here that year.
Yeah. So we had an opportunity. I have a photo of my son Ryan sitting next to a legend, Gavaskar, and he's like casually like this, not knowing who he's sitting next to.
Exactly.
But years later, he would appreciate the photo. But he was just, maybe 8 years old or so when I took him there. And he went on to play for the U.S. team as well, along with quite a few guys like Roshan Vajrajan,
right,
and Harsh Butch and those guys. But that was a good group of guys there. Stephen Taylor.
Yep.
But again, cricket has come a long way, and it needs to go a lot further. But having minor leagues and introducing minor leagues to the U.S. is a good thing, as long as they're inclusive of local players. It would be a great thing. Developing, and their goal has to be to develop young talent in the country, and their focus should be there. Once that happens, I think we have far ways to go, and utilize some. And they need to utilize some of the local coaches in the country. We have some fantastic, talented coaches across this region. You can tell from the product of their hard work. The kids that come out of Mid-Atlantic, I can speak for because I'm involved in it. We have, our team that we sent was fantastic, and we have a secondary team probably equally as good. So there's no short of talent here in the Mid-Atlantic region. I can assure you that. and from Virginia, Coach Milroy, and all the guys working from that end, coming all the way here. We have some really good guys who are working, diligently to get these youngsters up to, the level of international players.
So once again, I think that it's a testament of all the hard work of people over the years, all the great volunteers and coaches over the years. That this year I think we have a good chance to go to the World Cup, and then
I think it's our best opportunity. I agree with you totally, Ganesh.
Yep. Absolutely. So tell us more.
From my perspective now, right now our academy has over 100 kids. We have a U12, we have U14, we played in the U15 in WCL, we have a U16 in the UICL, U17, we were in WCL, on the 19 team. And we have our senior team. We have a touring team that tours all over. Last year, they didn't get to travel much. The year prior, we were in England, go to the Caribbean quite often. So, and we have our regular series that goes to Canada with Derek Pereira. That's an annual thing that we have. So we give the boys some international exposure playing on turf on a regular basis there. And again, we've been to Trinidad. Our regional team had gone to Trinidad. So we're doing what we can at this level, but it shows, again, that the more they play, the better they get. And that's all that's lacking here in America. Oh, well, I shouldn't say that. We lack good grounds, right? We need to have more turf wickets. Don't call me Captain Obvious, because it is obvious that we do need that. But we need to get more local coaches certified, that they can spread the game and get it into the schools, which we have been trying to over the years. We've been in several schools and they're open to having people, but there need to be a consistency, because volunteers alone cannot do it. You need some paid people in various regions to go and advocate the sport in schools, and teach the gym teachers and those guys to get it in the curriculum for the kids, especially areas where there's a large influx of Asians or cricket playing people.
Right.
I think once you do that, you're going to see it spread like wildfire, like soccer did. But again, you got to have some people with some good intent. I mean, listen, right now, the volunteers that are there are parents who have kids in the sport. Once their kids leave the sport, they're no longer interested in that age group or that person.
I've seen that trend over the years, but some of us cricket mad people are still there. We don't have any horse in the race, but we are out there every week in, week out on the cricket ground. And then we are able to convince a few more like us to be out there helping the sport. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, and I've always said it, if you're good for the sport, I'm with you. I don't have any allegiance to anyone other than cricket itself.
Absolutely.
Right. So this is a gentleman's game. It was taught to me as the gentleman's game, and it brings teaches you some qualities. And my good friend Mushtaq Khan has instilled this in me. It instills decency, dignity in kids, and the way you play cricket is helps you carry through your everyday life.
Rest of your life. Yeah, once your cricketing days are over, it just helps you in what you are as a person, defines you. Coach, what message would you like to give to the viewers, to the American cricket community? Please, the amount of effort that you put in on the sport, I think it's important for us to listen to you, hear you.
Well, the only advice I would give advice to two groups here. to the parents, when in coach, as a coach, I would advise them after they pick up their kids from coaching class, please don't tell them how wrong they were at the coaching session. Don't tell them what they did wrong, or don't give them an earful of why they didn't make runs or take wicket. Please ask them why. What happened today? Did you enjoy today? Right? Nurture them, comfort them, and guide them, but please don't come down on them. It will bring out the best in your child. Right? The next, I would ask the administrators is please support local development. Right? Local development is where we need the help. Yes, it's great to spend money in sending the national team all over the world, but you know what they say, charity starts at home. We need to take care of facilities, we need to take care of coaches, and please hire a couple of people from different regions, that we don't depend on volunteers only. You need to start investing in long-term, because volunteers, it lasts for a couple of years and then you have to restart all over again. They rebuild the wheel every 2 years. As administrators go out, they start all over again. And look, we've been playing cricket in this country for so many years, but we don't have dedicated grounds because there's no long-term plans in place, right? Yes, we have a lot of academies right now, but you know, you have to, academies struggle. They struggle. The winter is great for them. The summers are tough for them because everybody's outdoors there. And for me, I carried on as long as I did, because if I didn't pay my wife and kids, they still come to me. But if I had employees, I've got to pay them or they don't show up to work. So they need to reinvest into the local. And, you know, once they support the local development, everything else will flourish.
Wonderful, Coach. Thank you very much for coming online with me and having a heart-to-heart talk. We will stay connected, as we are, you know, compatriots, lovers of sport more than anything else. Then everything else follows. Thank you very much, and wish you all the best. Looking forward to meeting you in person in the near future.
Thanks, Ganesh. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you, sir. All right. Take care, sir.
Take care of yourself. Bye.